Hello and welcome to ShadowCast. Your host Thomas Anderson and Abigail Moe. Tuesday Tech Wizard.
Hello. 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 Are you still talking? So if you are, it's not being picked up at all.
Really? It's not picking that up at all?
Nope.
We need a different communication method because it's Discord that's cutting that off.
But anyway, yes, hello everybody.
I might need to edit that down a bit because I was continuing that note for about 30-45 seconds and there's no way you shouldn't be able to hear that. So
I'll tell you what, you see it when you're this far away and your head's in that way?
I can still hear you.
Oh, okay.
Discord is cutting out repetitive noises because it's taking it as background noise. So we need a different way of communicating. Discord doesn't work.
Okay.
I mean, it's better than Zoom, but we need something else. I also read somewhere that if you try to use Discord at the same time as recording a game and playing online, it can cause it to lag. It's better to use something else. So we need to find something else.
Your voice did a really weird fast forward thing there because it cut out, but it didn't cut out, it delayed it.
Right, okay.
So you went no.
So we need to find something else.
We need to fix it.
And we need to find something other than Parsec, I think. Parsec's not necessarily the best one.
No.
I don't think it allows for enough information transfer, so we need to try and find something else there as well. But I have found better editing, and I have found there might be a way of me setting up the different softwares to all run so that we can get separate chat and game audio, but we need to pick what software we're using for the audio and for the recording so that I can set up the different channels properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, other than that, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very tired. I got my booster on yesterday, and I'm feeling a bit groggy today.
So now you can see when your parents are driving.
I don't understand.
You got your
booster
seat.
Oh, jeez, so. So yeah, I've been feeling pretty rough for the last couple days, but I'm feeling better this evening. I had a 2-hour nap today. I actually properly fell asleep. I've not been able to fall asleep during the day for months now, or possibly even a year. I've not been able to do that, but today I just need to have a nap. I need to lie down. Which isn't very good because I've got a ton of college Christmas work I need to get on with. I've got 2 projects for one class, 1 project for another class, but I've also got to do my personal statement for UCAS, and I've got to finalize my statement of intent for the 10th of January. I'm exhausted and I'm so tired because all I can think of is how much work I actually have to do. I've got to do a portrait with a difference, A1 size, and I've now realized I don't have an A1 size drawing board. So
a drawing board.
I've got no idea how I'm actually going to do that. I'm at that weird stage where it's like we got the heating on during the day because it's so cold, but at nighttime, because obviously you're not moving about and you're under a massive blanket and things like that, you just like heat up too much during the night, and I just like wake up consistently, and it's not good for me. But hey, Christmas is a few days away, and I've still not done the majority of my Christmas shopping, so yay!
Go digital.
No, but I like to be able to go into a store and pick it out. Sometimes you get better deals that way. And also, if you're trying to buy something like secondhand or something like that, obviously that's not going to be online.
Yeah, secondhand present for somebody's Christmas. Yeah, that's nice. I'm not insulting anybody. Yeah, I'm not insulting anybody who has to do that But you made it out to be a choice, like if you're trying to buy something secondhand, not if you need to. Let's be honest, nobody wants to buy something secondhand on somebody's Christmas or birthday. So it is a need. People need to do that. So I'm not necessarily belittling anybody who needs to do it.
If I find something in a secondhand store I think somebody's going to absolutely love for Christmas or for their birthday, I will buy it for them.
Would you buy it from secondhand if you could get it brand new?
If I could afford it brand new, yes.
So
but if I
get
can't
my
afford
point.
it brand
You see, you get my point. Either it's because it's not available or because you can't afford it. So it's a need.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. I don't hold any grudges against anybody who's in that particular position. I've been there myself, or close to it. But no, it's not something you want to be doing. I think that's reasonable to say.
So like doing it.
Pardon?
I like buying secondhand stuff. Personally, yeah. If somebody bought me something secondhand, I wouldn't mind it.
No, I know, and that's fine.
I like it.
You like reusing old stuff. You're an artiste.
Not just that. I think it's just better for the environment.
Depends on the
thing. We've got enough clothing in this world to last the next 6 generations. Yet we keep producing more and more clothing.
Mm-hmm, I agree.
So I believe we should all be shopping secondhand. I don't believe we should be shopping brand new.
Only if you can clean it.
Well, yeah, most clothes you can clean.
Yeah, but not all. Some things you can't. It's harder to clean in that way, in which case they should be kept to family units.
Well, either way, like that's just my own personal belief.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we've taken a weird turn.
How was the end of your? How was your Christmas holiday? Did you
so
hear
tired.
any of that?
Oh, not really.
I heard. I just hummed and hawed. Yeah, I was trying to ask you how your Christmas was, but I kept trying to say summer holidays, and I hummed and hawed.
So far, technically, our last day of college was Wednesday. It was a lot of fun because we decided we were going to have a buffet. Everybody brings in a dish. Well, loads of people brought in dishes, and we also did a Secret Santa. Except the person I bought my Secret Santa for, the present didn't arrive for, so I had to do backup presents. So I had to write on the thing, "I owe you your real Christmas present," but they didn't know it was from me, because obviously it's Secret Santa. And the person was really confused, because it's like, it says I owe you your real present, yet there's a real present here. Because I bought them like backup presents, but they were really happy with it. And that was good.
That's good.
But then everybody was talking to each other. It's like, oh, and I was like, oh, this is such a great gift. And then their Secret Santa go, oh, and it's, and I'm like, no, that's not the point. The point is for it to be a surprise so that nobody knows who. There was a case where where 2 people got each other, which I found I always love. I always love when that happens. It's so funny.
Are you having fun with your time off?
Not really. Well, yes. On Saturday, I went to go see a live performance by an artist, and it was really, really good. It was cold though. It was really interesting. It was really fun. Yesterday, I had obviously my booster. Thursday and Friday, I was in college. So technically, there weren't days that we had to be in, but I had to go. I've just checked out my hair in the camera. I don't know what's going on with it. It looks really weird. But sorry. Yeah, it's been a weird week and a bit. Yeah.
Excited for Christmas?
Not really. Well, I'm not, because it's not the same as when you were a kid. You know, when you're a kid, it's exciting. You don't know what you're going to get. And when I was little, like all my family would come over to my grand's house, and obviously because my cousins are a lot older than me, are now married with little kids of their own, who are teenagers now, some of them. So it's like everybody's moved on with their lives, and it's kind of just like 4 of us now that just get together on Christmas Day, and obviously because of the last because of COVID, and even my sister's not going to be there because she's moved out now, so it's a quiet one.
Yep.
Just the four of us.
I was, what was it, last Friday? I was doing some DIY. Fixed a door handle.
Oh, very well impressed of fixing a door handle.
Yeah, it actually held. Normally when I fix something it falls apart, but I learned from my last attempt to fix something, you don't just use wood filler because you can't drill into it. You need to use something with like a resin or an epoxy or a sort of cement factor, otherwise it won't hold.
Which door was it that you had to fix?
Just a bedroom door handle that was coming loose because the screw thread had been destroyed in the wood, so I just filled it with this filler and then screwed into it when it was dry.
Well done, you. Look at you being all grown up.
Being all manly.
Look at you being all manly and grown up. Well done.
Ow, my elbow.
That's another thing. My arm's been killing me for the last day. For the last few hours, the last day or so.
Just somebody walks in the room and you're actually being choked to death by your own arm. I think this conversation over the past 5-10 minutes is why we play video games.
Yeah. Well, we've not had any time to play video games. You've been busy with work. I've been busy with college.
Hey, whoa. No. I have been playing video games.
You told me! You lied to me! You told me you hadn't played video games.
I had. But what I've decided is I'm going to keep my review, as it were, of Rome Total War 2 until my brother joins us and he gives his review of Assassin's Creed Origins. So we can do like a review day.
Okay.
Other than that, I've been playing more. What was I playing before? Mountain Blade Warband. Mountain Blade Warband? Why are you pulling that face?
Is that's the one where you like go around and you were going to be marrying off some princess? You were going to marry a princess or something like that.
I was going to marry a woman. She's not a princess. Yes. She's just a
noble woman.
She's the sister of a landless lord.
So a noble woman.
Yeah, but the lowest rung. Because I'm all about equality. Anyway, I found a way of declaring war on my own king while keeping all of my fiefs.
Are you now a usurper?
No, I took a castle and demanded that my king give it to me. And he said no. And you're allowed to declare war on him and start a civil war. So I did that. It's very difficult because for the majority of the time fighting so far, I'm the only person with an army. So it's like 1,000 against 100. It's really hard. But
are you the 1,000 or with 100?
I'm the 100. Otherwise it wouldn't be hard, it'd be easy. But I've found a way of getting more people to make armies, so I'm starting to understand how to do it.
Well done.
But I'm taking a break from it because it's almost like starting again.
Yeah.
So I am taking a wee break and I'm going to go back to it in a few days, and I've started a different game in the meantime. One thing I will say is that as soon as I declared war, I had no income because I had no vassals controlling my lands to raise rent, and my businesses in the old Nord Empire were cut off from me. So what I did was I rode around all the cities owned by other countries that I wasn't at war with.
Yeah.
And built businesses in each and every single one of those areas. So I'll make money from them while I'm dealing with the Nords, and then I'll make money from the Nord businesses while I'm dealing with them.
Well, that makes sense. That makes quite good business strategy. Good sir.
Thank you. So that gives me a potential benefit. It's just going to be to keep only loyal vassals. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to have to be very careful. And it's going to be very difficult to begin with. But once I've wiped out the Nords, we'll own half the map. So it will be plain sailing from then. And I'll also decide when we're at war and when we're not, because I'll be the king.
King Thomas.
No, King Brucyleth of the Cleedmosian Empire.
King Thomas.
I'm
gonna get your little crown for Christmas that just says King Thomas.
No, you're not.
A little cape. with a little fur-lined collar that you could, but not even like a full one, just one that just goes up to like just down below your shoulders, so you can just sit at your computer with.
No. You don't
A
need
little crown.
You don't need to get me a crown and a cape. I've already got them.
Homemade.
So
Using a bin liner. And a cereal box that you just hacked out a crown shape of.
And I glued a lot of dust together to give me the fur collar.
No, I was going to say you've disemboweled an old teddy bear.
And I used the stuffing to make a big beard.
No, the stuffing is the fur-lined collar.
Oh, I thought the fur...
And the head...
No. Wouldn't the
head is
fur...
a little clip.
But wouldn't the fur be the fur?
No, because teddy bears don't have fur.
Okay, in that case
stuffing,
then... In that
which
case...
you could turn into the fur-like
No,
thing.
the fur is the outside of the animal, not the inside. The
Yeah,
fur
but
isn't
the
its
inside-
gizzards.
The outside of a teddy bear isn't very furry. It's like clumpy.
Right,
so you'd
so-
have to take the stuffing from the inside to make it look like fur.
Okay, so if I take the stuff on the inside to make it look like white fur, I'll use the brown, light brown, tan almost outside to make like chest hair. It peeps out.
No, that's the lining for the cape. That's the inside lining for the cape.
That's not enough. I'd have to disembowel quite a few bears.
No, because you could take the head and you... No, I'm just talking about a tiny one, like just below the shoulder.
Even
like a
then,
tiny
it's not
cape.
enough. It's not enough. I'd have to disembowel, I think, 2 or 3.
But then you take like the little head and that could become the clip. But then, if you make the inside lining, you can turn it over and you can become Teddy Bear Man.
Super Ted.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Was it books or TV show?
It was a TV show. It's
Yeah.
a cartoon. And he had that alien friend.
But you just get like little crystallized sweeties, and you could put that on your cutout of a crown and make it look like little gemstones.
Fox's Glacier Mints.
No, like little crystal, like jelly sweets of sugar on the outside.
Foot pastels.
Something like that, yeah.
Because they would actually look like gems because they're circular.
But there used to be a thing, and
Imagine if I just used like jelly, like the wee gummy
Jelly
bears.
babies.
No, gummy bears stuck to it.
King of the gummy bears.
or even worse, just like a starburst.
One single
It
star
wouldn't make any sense at all.
You used to be able to get these crystallized little green sweet things for cake decorating, and they used to be the shape of like a kite or a rhombus is like a diamond shape. Is that right?
Aye.
So you used to be able to get those. You could just stick those all over your crown.
So the game that I was playing other than that
Dress up.
I started it last night and I ended up playing for hours without really meaning to. It was called Medieval Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me just make a lot of noise with my chair for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, Medieval Dynasty, and it's about starting your own medieval dynasty. Basically, off camera.
Oh, who would have thunk?
Off camera, your family gets killed, and you make a run for it. They save you, and you're 18, and you walk for months until you get to an area of the world where your uncle is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking for your uncle. It's absolutely beautiful. You walk out this forest into the open air, and it's just beautiful. You've got a village of so you have so many villages around you, and then you've got this river leading into this huge big sort of like lake.
Yeah.
And well, first thing you find out is your uncle's dead and has been for a few years. The next thing you find out is the guy who tells you that is a friend of your uncle. He teaches you, that you need to be able to survive. So he first thing you go and do is choose a place to build a house, and you build a house. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I built a really nice house that looks out onto the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not a great idea to build where I've built because I'm off in the middle of nowhere, and it's like time does actually progress. So 3 days to a season, 4 seasons to a year.
Yeah.
And you have to build up your supplies to be able to survive and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do missions and stuff like that. but you have to find a wife. See, that's the dynasty part. You find a wife to have children, and then I think when your character dies, you become the child. And over the course of the generations, you found your own village.
Okay.
And so you build all the stuff that you need from like a survival game. So I would say that it's a cross between Kingdom Come Deliverance and Subnautica.
I know a little bit about Subnautica. I know that there's a submarine and you dive down.
When you said little, you meant little.
Yeah.
Basically, it's survival. The first thing you got to do is get enough materials to be able to regularly make your own food and water.
Do you crash like a plane or something like that? At the start?
Spaceship.
Oh, I thought it was like an actual airplane.
No, spaceship.
I know nothing.
Mm-hmm. But it's a pretty game, Subnautica. I prefer Subnautica to this so far. I think Subnautica's just a better world to look at.
Yeah.
This is a bit more on a budget, and they've tried to go for a bit more of a realistic look, but it is still pretty to look at, this game, and I'm enjoying it. I just don't think I could get back into Subnautica, but Subnautica was the only survival game I ever played when the survival elements didn't bother me.
Game you've ever played where what?
The survival game where the survival elements didn't bother me. Like, you have to keep yourself hydrated and you have to keep yourself fed.
Right, okay.
That never bothered me. The game doesn't force you to sleep, if memory serves.
That's good.
But this game does, but Subnautica doesn't. So, yeah, it's the only time the survival part didn't bother me.
Why was that?
And there's no co-op on Subnautica, but I wasn't playing it by myself, so it was more of a sort of joint venture. I think that's what held my attention. And there is actually a sort of like what happened here sort of element as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And the increasing levels of technology, that normally is quite good as well. I think too many survival games in the past just focused on surviving. And that's just a repetitive task, whereas more modern ones sort of give you a question to answer and increasing levels of technology, so it becomes more fun.
Yeah, there's like a mystery element almost.
But you also progress past the point where you need to worry about easy things. And to be honest, this game's pretty reasonable. Like, if you need water, you can just walk down to the river and drink it. It's not ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to go to this exact specific point, and you can only have water that contains this amount of...
Yeah, and you need to go and purify it in some way or whatever. Like it...
Yeah, you have found the water, but the water is impure. You must purify it with filters, which can only be found at this location. Oh wait, no, you don't need the blue filter. You need the red filter.
And you
no, that's a slightly orange filter. That's not the red filter you need. Oh, you've got the red filter now. Now you need these 3 twigs. Oh no, those 3 twigs are too short. You need the longer ones.
Yeah, with the exception that you would be making the filter from the twigs.
Oh no, those are the right length of twigs, but it's not the right type of tree.
Yeah, basically.
That's what those games are like. It's a nightmare.
So I like it when it's a little bit more relaxed. When it's as realistic as possible, but they're relaxed about the realism to a degree.
Yeah, like you do eventually need these things, but it's not as drastic as other games where you have to eat like once every hour or something like that.
Well, yeah, like I built a really nice house, and I put a rabbit trap outside, so I can just walk up. You only need sticks to build the trap, and you just walk up to it, and then you just take the rabbit once you've caught it, cook it, and you got a piece of meat.
That's all the meats.
Sometimes you just find items. So I found a spear.
Yeah.
Copper spear, and I killed a deer with it.
Nice.
For leather and a lot of meat. It's just survival stuff. But in this, there's finances because there's other people there.
Yeah.
It's quite real, actually. I think men would get an awful lot of fun out of playing it because of the whole testing yourself to see whether or not you can survive. And I think women would get a lot of fun out of playing it because there is a sort of nesting element, you know? That sort of thing that women like to do. Like, I've found it, let's be honest, I find that you'll understand this, but The Sims,
Yes.
yeah, there's a sort of Simish element to it when it comes to building your house. And like, I'm going to put the house here, I'm going to put the shed here, I'm going to put the farm here, I'm going to put the hunting traps over here. There's a sort of like arranging, nesting element to it. And for men, there's a sort of like test yourself against the wild and see how you can do sort of element to it. Which I think,
I like both. I like both of those elements.
yeah, but yeah, I understand, but you're probably going to take a bit less joy out of braining a deer.
What? Sorry?
Braining a deer.
Do you mean killing a deer?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I like hunting games. I find it fun. The few games I have actually played.
Such as?
Oh, there was like a... Oh, which one was it? I can't remember what it was, but I was like I think it was like an online thing, and I don't think it was it wasn't a very good game, but it was basically just like stalking about and hunting down like animals and things like that.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm not saying you couldn't enjoy those elements. Just like I enjoy the bit where you're designing your village or your town or whatever. My point was just that there's an innateness as well. Like, we know for a fact that women tend this way, men tend that way when it comes to certain things, and that can be something that you don't necessarily know you would enjoy until you're doing it.
Suppose that if you don't normally do something, you won't know you enjoy it unless you try.
And I think that that's like, I didn't think I would have liked a game like that, but the idea of setting up you're basically starting from scratch trying to set up a family unit. That's really what you're trying to do. And
Yeah.
if you actually look at modern society, that sort of attempt is considered to be more just sort of like more accidental. You know?
I don't understand, sorry.
People don't necessarily set out to make a family. They just go and live their life. This is what we're raised to think. You just go out there, live your life, and then it'll land in your lap. Whereas for thousands of years, people deliberately went out and found somebody to have a family with.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a misgiving, that's an error in society. There should be a more deliberate effort in that. And I think this sort of plays into that a bit. Because the entire thing is, if you don't have children, you have no dynasty. You have to set everything up, get a female, make a baby. That's how the game works. Because you fail if your line is broken.
It's interesting.
And I think that there were games that had those elements to them before. Like, I think some of the old Total War games had stuff like that. If the family line was broken, that was it.
Yeah.
But it's really things like Crusader Kings would have that sort of thing as well. It's really I just think it's surprising. I just thought it would be fun to give it a go and see what it was like. I didn't realise it would be this much survival. I thought it would be a bit more like questing and combat. And I think I would actually prefer that. But I have really got into the survival elements of it a lot more than I thought I would. And that's sort of what I'm trying to get at.
Good that you've actually gotten into that.
I think I would still prefer it if it was a bit more questy. It does have some jobs that you can do, but I would have preferred a bit more of an edge towards Kingdom Come Deliverance and a little bit less of an edge towards Subnautica's theme. But I'm enjoying it. And I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Awesome.
And I just think that there's those elements in there. Because it is more traditional, because it's set in the Middle Ages,
Yeah.
You're a man, because a man would be doing this sort of thing, whereas a woman would be more... We've got female merchants and female brewers and female whatevers, because there were plenty of women doing all those sorts of things, but they were less, I'm going to go out and kill a wolf. Because women didn't necessarily do that as much because physiologically they're not designed for it as much.
But yeah, I think there'll be some other elements within that as well, like society and stuff like that, because there would still be societal rules, even in the Middle Ages.
Yeah, I think my point was that those societal rules are not necessarily a bad thing.
They're there.
Pardon?
Well, I'm just saying that they were there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're bad or not, they were there.
Well, that's my point. Is I don't think they necessarily were a bad thing, and I think that's something that this game sort of demonstrates because your character is setting out to do a specific thing, and the part of this societal structure is what it gives him this direction of what it is he's going to do.
Seems like an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
We keep playing it.
Yes.
Good.
Seems to be the medieval games that I'm just trying to get married. You can't have children in Mount and Blade Warband because it's not that sort of dynasty element game.
But this one is.
This one is. Crusader Kings is the same. It's got a dynasty element to it. I think the second Bannerlord does. If you turn that option on, you can have children.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I'm surprised by how much I've enjoyed it. I'm really sort of enjoying the whole concept. But what I don't like is time limits. You know, like
It's annoying. That is annoying.
I failed a side quest because you have to get it done within a season, and a season is only 3 days according to the settings I picked. Because it heartily recommends you just leave it set to the default.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the game would get too big. It would sort of fall apart. So as time progresses, there's limitations on building numbers. So you have to wait a certain amount of time to be able to build more buildings. Because if every single one of your guys could build as many as they wanted, the map would be flooded in buildings and be totally unwieldy. You wouldn't be able to play the game. So there's a limit, and it's sort of the same thing. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not the main characters, other than my guy, age and die off. Because
age and die off.
If it is a dynasty game, then my children would have to be able to find other children to grow up with and then couple with. So it'd be interesting.
I mean, I when I played The Sims, I would literally have either sim just have as many children as possible with as many people as possible. So effectively, nobody could have children within The Sims. It would just be an entire town of basically one gene pool. I'd have to restart the game so many times. It was so annoying.
Was there an inbreeding fault line? Just like the game just says, "No, mate, you've taken this too far."
I don't actually know. I should have just let it just go by itself and see if effectively it just becomes a ghost town. Like nobody can have children with each other. Everybody just dies off. I think what I eventually had to do was I had to move people out and move new families in. So that was the only way it was going to work.
Welcome to the neighbourhood. You'll notice that we all have 3 eyes. Yeah. So what are you going to be playing the next chance you get?
I really want to finish off Spyro.
Jeez, that's ages
I'd
ago.
I'd also Watch Dogs.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could literally just blitz through Watch Dogs on the campaign mode, like because you can play the campaign or you can play all the side quests, but continuously just play side quests. I think that's obviously the side quests help build up your skills and things like that. There's a crafting mechanic, and I still haven't been able to figure it out. There was like a small tutorial right at the start, and I don't remember anything.
Crafting in Watch Dogs?
Yeah.
That's probably quite simplistic. It'll be like circuit boards and blades make you a drone.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, I need to look it up. I'll figure it out. But that's what I'm going to do.
What am I going to play? I was thinking about playing Halo 2.
Ooh.
Fallout 4 or Lego or something like that. Because I've got a few
Play Halo 2. Play Halo 2. And then you and I can do a playthrough of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm getting really sick of the Pillar of Autumn.
Well, we need to record the Halo 1 playthrough then.
I'm sick of Pillar of Autumn.
Well, we need to play through the first game then.
I'm sick of Pillar of Autumn.
I get it. Calm down. We need to organise a playthrough we can record.
Yes. But that is for another day.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to discuss today?
Quick thing was about, the CPU sort of like circuit board or like chip shortage that the world has.
It's actually really interesting that you were saying that, because I was looking at the CPU on my desktop just there, because it brings up a CPU thing.
Mm-hmm. The shortage means that Microsoft are actually struggling to get their hands on their own console. They can't get enough Xboxes for the upcoming Halo Championship.
Oh no.
So they're having to use developer kits, the sort of like prototypes that they handed out to developers to help them develop their games. They're having to call those back in and use those. Apparently it's the same hardware, but normally they would just buy their own equipment. And the difficulty they're having is that the chip shortage caused by COVID means that there's a shortage of next generation consoles, which is why there's almost no next generation console exclusive games. Because they've
not been able to.
They can't function yet because there's not enough. No. Launch exclusives, yes, but most people developing a game will make sure that it's available on something else because there's too few consoles being sold compared with what the number of people who actually want to buy one. It's just funny that way. That it's also the fact that everybody's stuck inside playing video games during a lockdown, right?
Yeah.
So you want lots of consoles to be available, but you also want people to be able to buy things to play on the consoles they have already. So it's sort of like that coin flip of it. It's people are locked inside. They should be able to buy consoles, but because of COVID, which is what's causing them to be locked inside, they can't buy consoles.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough being made. So because of that, people are having to make games available that are, make sure there's stuff available in previous generations.
Yeah.
But I think the Halo servers for Xbox 360 are being shut down. So you'll be able to play single player Xbox Halo games. If you've still got like Halo 3 or ODST or something on the 360, you'll still be able to play those. But the online components are being shut down and shunted to the Master Chief Collection.
Interesting.
Because the only first-person shooter Halo games that aren't available in that are Infinite and 5.
Yeah.
And they're available on that console anyway, in the Game Pass as well. So, but everything else, including Halo Wars, is being shunted across. You can still play the single player, but you can't play the online stuff.
Yeah.
But they've been running logically since Halo 3 came out in about 2007.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to sort everything out, like with getting the consoles and stuff like that. Hopefully it'll go somewhere without a hitch. It probably won't, but
the Halo servers are being shut down for the 360 era.
I think it was inevitable that was going to happen.
I remember what I was doing when the Xbox servers got shut down across the board. The original classic Xbox servers got shut down in 2009, I think it was. I was playing Final Fantasy 13 Part 1.
Where halfway through it, all of a sudden it just
No, because I was playing that on the 360.
Right, okay.
But it was 4 years after the 360 was done as primary Sorry, it's 4 years after the 360 came out and the classic Xbox was done with that they shut the servers down. But the Xbox One came out 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. I think it might have been 2013, so about 8 years ago. And they're still keeping the 360 servers going for a lot of stuff. They're just not, like, the actual general servers are still running. Because of the longevity. They've found a way to financially benefit from keeping the older stuff running.
That's good. So is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's me. Thank you.
That's good. Well, be prepared. For I'm going to say the same thing. Bing. If you like what you heard and you'd like to hear more, you can always subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, the share button, the like button. Did I say that? I cannot remember.
You're fine. Yeah. I mean, there was an enormous gap, but whatever.
You can always leave a...
As your brain refreshed, tried to load that information up.
It did. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really not with it.
Yeah,
I'm really not with it. So you can leave a comment down below. That'd be fantastic. Or you can email us at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com. Tommy is the gatekeeper for all emails, so he notices all those before I do.
I think that is that a side effect of the COVID booster jab?
What?
Just baby brain.
No, there's other stuff going on as well, which is causing that. Probably stress as well as not.
I thought you were.
Not helping.
I honestly thought you were about to say baby.
No, I am not. I am not with child. I am not.
Oh well.
Good, I'm not, because I've got like 4 more years of school left.
You know, you can school and be a parent at the same time. It's just you would be bad at both. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Go away. Go away. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.